Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I don't know about you. I was exceptionally exhausted today. Mondays coming off of a holiday weekend are always hard. Today, coming off of last week, was exceptionally exhausting. Um, and so, forgive me as I ramble my way through this update. I did not type up notes, many notes, or a script of any kind, which I tend to do so that I don't ramble. So, you're just going to have to bear with me. Where to start? So, last night, after I posted my update, I got a text from my mom that just said, "Hi, I miss you." And I nearly jumped through the roof because I have not heard from her in like 5 or 6 days. It was the last thing in the world I expected. And I just wasn't really in a great place yesterday. So seeing that pop up on my phone was really exciting. So, we were going back and forth for maybe, I don't know, half hour, which was a lot for her. The most I've ever gotten from her is just one or two text messages, but I had kind of made up my mind. I was just going to keep asking her questions to keep her on as long as I could. Excuse me. Until she told me that she was too tired. So, I asked her, she just told me that I asked her how she was doing. She told me that it's very, very hard. And and I asked her if she was wanting to be done with the fight, and she said, she responded very, very quickly, right away. She said absolutely she wanted to continue with the fight. So she did not hesitate on answering that question at all. So that's a good sign. I then asked her, did you tell your nurse today or ask your nurse today if you could go home? And she said, yeah. I was trying to make her laugh because she was too serious. She was being too serious. And I was like, well, I'm glad that you're texting me this right now because I thought you were losing your mind and I started to panic and sent her some laughing emojis and she sent some laughing emojis back. I guess she thought that was pretty funny. So, I then asked her if this weekend, if she was not working quite as hard because she was worn out from Thursday. And she said, yes, Thursday took a lot out of her. And so she was pretty tired this weekend. So she also expressed that Tyler is her favorite nurse too. So hopefully he comes back to work soon. Although I do kind of want Tyler to have a few days off. He has earned them. Anyway, so that was all good last night. Totally lucid conversation for a while till I told her, she told me she was getting tired and she was going to hang up, and I told her she should have them turn on the Packer game for her so she could listen to it, and she was going to do that. She didn't even realize that they were playing last night, so she was going to do that. Then today I called for an update, and her nurse was telling me that she was in a CT scan at the moment. So the medications that she's on right now is, well, she's finished the 5 days of remdesivir. She finished that last week sometime. She's finished up the steroid IV. That's all done. So she's not on that anymore. And so she was just on her thyroid medication and heparin for blood clots. COVID patients are at high risk of blood clots, and because of the oxygen levels in their blood are so out of whack. And so they put them on blood thinners. However, yesterday or the day before maybe, they had to take her off the heparin because her platelet count was too low. So So she's not on the heparin anymore. But then today, when they ran some labs, her D-dimer levels, which are indicative of blood clots, were they are normally high in COVID patients, but hers were like scary high. And so the hospitalist ordered a scan, a CT scan, to check for clots. And they thought that a clot in her lung would also explain why her levels have been so bad while she's on her back. So they scanned her and didn't find any clots at all. So the nurse was really happy that she has no clots. The doctor, however, she has a new doctor. Hang on, let me see. Dr. Edwards, she's very nice. We like her much more than Dr. Garcia. Dr. Edwards was, glad she doesn't have clots, but a little frustrated too. She was like, it's not like I want your mom to have a clot, but at least a clot I can work with. A clot I know how to handle and deal with. This stupid COVID, there's nothing I can do about it. So she was a little frustrated. I think she was kind of hoping for a clot just so that she could do something to make it better. But anyway, she I forgot where I was going with that. Hang on a second. Stop. Lena's interrupting me for a second. All right, sorry. Lena made us dinner. It's ready, so I gotta wrap this up. So she has no clots. And so her hospitalist was also talking to me about the reality of the situation is that right now is that if mom wants to continue to fight, then that means that we're at a point right now where if she chooses to transition to comfort care, we will not be able to come in and say our goodbyes to her. Last week, that was an option. At this point, she will not last long enough for us to be able to do that. And so her doctor just wanted to make sure that I was aware of that. And I said, that's the reality of the situation. That doesn't mean that we're gonna change, start making decisions for her or try to change her mind in any way. And she just kind of indicated, or doctor kind of indicated, that she wasn't sure if she was making appropriate decisions. And so I said, well, is this being based off her asking if she could go home? And she said, yeah, that was concerning to me. Other than that comment, she's been totally fine. And I said, yeah, she was texting me about that last night. She was kidding. And her doctor was like, oh, okay, well then she's completely decisional and lucid. And yeah, we should not be making decisions for her. So I'm glad we had that conversation, because it seemed like otherwise the doctors were kind of questioning her wit as well. So, and the doctor also, we talked about how mom is making good decisions, or she's firm in her decisions, and she's asking all the right questions, and her hospitalist was just very thankful that we talked, and that we are all on the same page, and that we support her in what she's trying to do here. And we're just going to keep following her lead. So we are all on the same page there, which is a relief. Last week I wasn't so sure Dr. Garcia was on the same page. So now we are all on the same page. And that's it. Just waiting. Just continuing to wait. It can be impossible sometimes, but that's what we're doing. So that's all I have for now. Have a good night, everybody. I gotta go eat my dinner. I will talk to you tomorrow night.